sit you know. You can start so slowly. Don't come up the thing. So ready. So welcome again, TikTok. So here we are today. So today I'm just going through some instruments I have here. I have a number of Klein instruments here for testing purposes, right? So I want electricians, the youngsters, to get familiarized with the electrical test instruments. And there's a number of them here, from the basic to the more advanced one. However, you still need to get familiarized with them. Eventually, so you step up in the trade, and when you reach a certain level, now you know, advanced level, going on to a fully fledged electrician, you can start getting these tools, these measuring equipment, right? So I'm going to start off with this is just basically a neon tester here, and this neon tester, you just put it on to find your hot leg and insulation, and just you ground it at the top here with your finger. Right? Yeah, this is the simplest thing of here, neon tester. Right? Here we have a number of Klein equipment here. So starting off with my dual range non-contact Klein tester. Non-contact Klein tester here. Right. Then I have now my receptacle tester, and this receptacle tester will tell you whether if you have an open circuit, right, an open neutral, open ground, or if the circuit is dead. So it's a Klein receptacle tester. Then now I recently got this. I have a Klein electronic voltage tester, right? For measure both AC and DC, and with from 12 volts to 240 volts, right? You see, this is a simple voltage tester for test to find voltage. And here I have now a Klein line splitter, and I'm going to do a video on this, how to use this Klein line splitter. You can use this now to measure. Plug in a receptacle, plug it into a receptacle, and then now you plug an appliance in it, and you can check how much current flowing through the appliance while the appliance is working. So this is a Klein line splitter. Right? This is a simple Klein desk multimeter to measure voltage, current, and resistance. Right? It's a voltage DOM meter. Right? A simple desk meter. That's another one. Here we have now my Klein clamp-on multimeter to measure voltage, current, and resistance. So this is a Klein. This is the clamp is around the conductor, and while current is flowing through conductor, it will determine. It's really go to about 600 amps, right? So this is another Klein product, right? Here again, this is now my Klein tracer to find when you're labeling a panel, you can use this tracer and find the breaker for to the respective receptacle, and in order to do your labeling at the panel board. So there's another Klein cable tracer. This is a cable. Then again, now this is now our Megger ohm meter, Klein Megger ohm meter, right? So this Klein Megger ohm meter, now you use this to measure to do your insulation resistance test, right? And that insulation resistance test to do that in order to find check the integrity of an installation, and normally do a new installation, upgrading installation, and periodically an installation, and also on motors and transformer to determine if the winding is broken down, right, and so forth. So this is a Klein Megger ohm meter. The slang name for it, they refer to it as a Megger, right? And as you know, this operate on a dead circuit. Right, and it's also it's a DC voltage. You can have either 250 volt, the 500 volt DC, or 1000 volt DC. Depends on the voltage of the installation. that you're measuring, right? So here again, now when I've gone through all my Klein equipment, because I say I am an electrician who, well, I love Klein products. Klein products, they are relatively cheap and compared to other brands in the market. And also, you know, you know, I get, you know, service, you know, is not bad from them. So I recommend, you know, purchasing Klein equipment and tools, right? You know, because I normally don't like I go below Klein, right? If anything, most above, right? But normally I stop at Klein. That is where my cutoff is, right? So this is another brand now. It's a Flare, right? Thermometer, right? Right. And this now is also to test on the heat and conductors, right? In a cable, and also like things like motor, anything electrically that generate heat. So you want to find out the heat, that is the temperature of the conductor equipment. This is a good tester, right? Thermal imaging meter, right? And it's by Flare, right? Come along here now, right? This is another one now. This is a voltage, a rotation tester, right? And this is for 3-phase. So you want to find if the voltage, the 3-phase installation, if the voltage is in a clockwise or anti-clockwise direction, right? To put each one of these lead on one of the terminal, right, at the distribution board, and you press the button, and it will show you whether it is in a clockwise or if the current the voltage is in a clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. So this is a rotation meter, right? So not one of those top brand, but it still can, you know, use, you know, going to shutting down a 3-phase installation to carry out maintenance upgrade. It could to find out, you know, the direction of the rotation of the voltage, and when you finish, you know, you can use it to check and see if everything is in order. So come here now. This is now I just recently got this, my clamp-on earth resistance tester, right? So now I just clamp this on around the main earthing lead, right, or around the copper, or around the earth rod, and this now will give you the reading of the earthing lead, the earthing lead. And in this case now you have to follow what the code recommend, right? If it is in a certain range, right? You know, if you use this meter, and if you're getting a high reading, right? You know, sometimes you have to do silent treatment, use silent answer, right? In order to get the required resistance that you need from earthing, right? So these 2 meters, this insulation resistance tester on the left hand, it is from the insulation resistance of the conductor of the circuit, to see whether there's a short, there's a leakage, whether there's some compromise in the wiring. And so we use this insulation resistance tester to get a reading. And you know, if you don't want a low reading, because when lower the reading high or you have a short, that it is telling that something is wrong. However, this now, right? So what I read from this, the lower you can get, really you can get from this meter with a clamp around the main earth rod or the main earthing lead, right? That's right. The lower the reading you can, the better for you, right? So formula, get yourself, do all the research and reading on these 2 meters, right? The purpose of them, the earth insulation resistance tester and the earth and the earth resistance tester, right? So that's it. So all in all, this is today just my tool here that I have here, right? And you can buy them, get read the instruction, manufacturer instruction, get familiarize with them and use them, right? And never take on anything that is above you, right? And to continue to ask your supervisor or whoever above you, right, or the use, right? And because doing troubleshooting, doing electrical work, you have to have equipment, just like a doctor or any other professional technical person. You need instrument to get your measurement, and you have to ensure that the batteries are working properly, and your meter must be calibrated every year, right? Because if it's not calibrated properly, you'll get wrong reading, and that can show you off, can also can hurt you, and also give you that false reading, put you off course, right? So these are some of just my equipment, so just measuring equipment, right? And as I said, I specialize in Klein, right? Klein is my brand, right? Because these are because of the cost, and the Klein has been around for over 100 years, and they have proven themselves. So that's it for today. So until next time, we'll see you again.